Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how to create this beautiful, really effective, I suppose, image through text effect, I suppose it's called. But yeah, it looks really effective. So I'm going to show you how to do this in Affinity, and if you stick around to the end I'll share a bonus tip which will allow you to be extra creative, so make sure you stick around to the end. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I've got my image loaded in Affinity. This is just a photograph that I took myself actually when we were sailing out of one of the fjords in Norway. It's a fairly straightforward process, but I'll talk you through every single step. So the first thing to do is obviously you need to add some text. I'm in the pixel persona, so I'm going to select the artistic text tool. And this seems to work better with a bolder font, so I'm going to choose Impact. Obviously, you can choose whatever. Oh, not too far. There we go. Obviously, you can choose whichever font that you want. And I'm going to just start typing some text. Beautiful Norway. I'm going to come to the top here, and in the drop down in the middle, I'm going to align it to the right because I want it to be on the right hand side of the image. Obviously, you can align wherever you want. And if I maximum screen it again and make the text just a little bit bigger, and I'm going to drag it down just a touch. There we go, that should be all right. If I, on my Mac, if I select or press Command A, I can select all of the text. I think that's Control A on a PC. Obviously someone will surely probably correct me if I'm wrong there. And if I press Option or Alt on a PC and arrow up and down, you can move the lines up and down. And if you press Option left and right, you can move the characters closer or further apart. I'm just going to go in here actually, in between the B and the E, and again Option and press to the left and just make that just a little bit closer, and do the same in the N and the O. There we go. That's probably a bit too far actually. There we go, that's better. A bit too far as well. There we go. Okay, so I've got our text in place, and let's move that across just a touch. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a gradient, because again, personally, I just think it looks better with a gradient. So again, I'll select the text, Control and A to select all of the text, and I'm going to, on the left hand side, I'm going to click the fill tool, and at the top, I'm going to change it from solid down to, I'm going to choose radial. Just personally, just a personal choice. Again, you can choose whatever you want. You can select whichever colours you like. I'm going to change that to a slightly darker grey, and select in the middle. Actually, yeah, I'm going to leave that as a white actually. Yeah, okay, so we've got our gradient added. And the next thing we need to do is to duplicate the text. So select the text layer, and I'm going to hit on my Mac, I'm going to hit Command J or Control J on a PC, and that will duplicate the text. And with this text, I actually don't want there to be a fill, so I'm going to remove the fill. So up in the color tab, the first circle, I'm going to click the no fill option, and the stroke, I do want it to be a stroke, and I want it to be white, so it's already selected white. I'm going to move over to the vector persona just for a second, and that will allow me to increase the stroke size, and I'm going to increase the stroke size to 3. So basically what that's done is that's given us the same text. We've got a gradient for the first text that we created. If I just hide that for a second, and we've got an outline of the text for the second text that we created. So we're actually almost there with the effect that we want to create. So the way to actually finish this off, go back to the original image, and again I want to select or create a duplicate of that. So Command J or Control J to make a duplicate. And the next thing we want to do is to mask out part of this image in whatever shape that we want. So for this example, I'm just going to use a heart. So again, back in the pixel persona, I'm going to select the shape tool, and I'm going to choose the heart, and we just drag out a heart. Again, whatever size that you want. That should be pretty good actually. And all we need to do is to drag the heart down and use the heart to create a mask. So if we drag it down and just drop it on top of the duplicate image that we created, it will create a mask. Now, you can't see it at the moment because The mask is obviously being covered by the other image that we created. But all we need to do now is to drag the second image, so the image that's got the mask on it. If we drag that up and we pop it in between the two letters, the two text layers that we created. So again, just make sure you've got a solid blue line between them, so you're not dragging it on top, you're dragging it in between. Let go, and you can see it's already created the effect that we're looking for. And that's basically it. That's created the effect. It's then just a case of playing around with it. So if we select the mask layer or the heart layer, we can click on layer effects at the bottom here, and you can soften the edges just by adding a Gaussian blur, and obviously you can soften that as much or as little as you want. But there we go. So that creates the effect that we were looking for. We've got the text on top with the outline. We've got the text behind the image that's masked. And that's how you can create the image coming through the text or blending into the text. So the bonus tip that I promised you is, again, just to allow you to be a little bit more creative if you want to be. So let me just hide the mask for a second. So now we know basically all we're doing is masking at the second image. You can really get your imagination to go wild. Obviously, you can use other shapes. You can click the shape tool and click other shapes and choose whatever shape that you like. But what you can also do is select the freehold or the freehand selection tool, and you can draw your own shape. So let me just draw a shape around here. I'm going to just drag it out. And I'll close the pattern. It's probably terrible, but you'll get the general idea. And again, all I need to do here is to select the mask layer, and we get the same effect. So now we've created our shape. I can press Command D or Control D on a PC, and that would deselect the selection. And I've now got the mask layer that I can, again, basically do whatever I want. So with the Move tool selected, I can move that around. If I just zoom out slightly, I can rotate it. And again, you can really sort of let your imagination go a little bit wild here. So that's how we could create the effect of the image blending through text. So it just makes the text a little bit more interesting, I think. Yeah, hope you find that interesting, and I hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy. Take care. Bye-bye.